85,
90.
90, 95.
We're playing for keeps.
We're on the market. Stay strong, sir.
Sold!
Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 11th of November. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Pearce.
And Gary, let's spend a moment reflecting on the fact that it is, I'm stumbling here. Let's spend a moment reflecting on the fact that it is the 11th of the 11th, and that is Remembrance Day.
I did not forget that, Phil. Remembrance Day is good.
I think we should be wearing a poppy. I think the poppy is the signature of remembering Remembrance Day. The 11th of the 11th was the end of the First World War.
It was, yes.
Do you know, interestingly, and I'm going to get the numbers wrong here, but in the First World War, something like 30 to 40 million people died as a result of the war. That is
a lot
phenomenal.
Of people. It is.
That is twice the population effectively, or almost twice the population of Australia, died during the First World War.
And it was called at that time the Great War, I think, Phil. Because there wasn't a Second World War, so they couldn't say in the First World War, this is the First World War, because they didn't know a second one was coming. But the more people passed in the Second World War, though, Phil. 50 million, I think it was.
Isn't it terrible, you know?
A lot of people gone.
If you think about it, it's
war.
Just
What's it good for?
War
absolutely
is
nothing.
Terrible. I'm not going to spend any time being humorous around this.
You're morbid.
It's the 11th of the 11th, and we do pay respect to all of those people that gave their life during that terrible time.
And let's face it, at our age, remembering anything's good, Phil. So Remembrance Day is a day we remembered something.
Good point.
But it is a very sacred day, of course, Phil. So we're not going to go any further because we'll just offend people, which occasionally we do and have done, and probably will always do. But we do it with love and a smile on our face. And care. And Phil, good weekend. No towers. No towers don't qualify this weekend.
I think the towers
only around the industry average. We passed a bit in.
The reason there are no towers is because our clearance rate was bang on the industry clearance rate, which was okay.
It's okay.
Let's be clear.
Not great.
68% clearance is okay. But the viewers tune in for this, Gary. If they want just okay, they can go anywhere. They don't tune in for just okay. They tune in for this show because they know we can bring some bounce to their day. And having said that, we started with Remembrance Day, then we went and said how ordinary we are because we were just mixed in with the industry
next thing you're going to talk
average.
about Melbourne Cup Day and my horse, because you know how my horse didn't go too well on Melbourne Cup Day.
Gary, I was not going to watch the race, but we had the races on in the background.
We did.
And I heard Cadmus. And I said to Irene,
Cadmus.
This is Gary's horse. And they said Cadmus. At that point when they said Cadmus, I think it was in the middle order. Right?
Well,
You're in the middle order there for a moment.
We were.
Now, viewers, if you know nothing about racing, and I don't claim to know a lot about racing, but generally speaking, the winner or generally the horse that comes first and the horse that comes last generally comes from the middle order.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. That's racing. I mean, the horse that's right at the front, the horse that's right at the front from the start never wins.
You've got no idea.
And the horse that's at the horse is at the back never comes last.
You don't know
what you're talking about. But it's the middle order. The winner comes and the loser comes. Where did your horse come?
Well, it wasn't the winner, let's put it that way, okay?
It wasn't the winner, it was the horse that came last. And
as in racing terms, it's called stone muddleless last. I don't know where the history for that is. Have you heard that term?
Stone muddle?
Stone muddleless last.
Never heard that.
That is the racing term for when you come clearly last, you are stone muddleless last. So anyway, look, you know, people say, well, it can't get worse, but it did get worse when our horse broke down in a race a few months earlier. So put it this way, my stable's not firing. So it's back to real estate, Phil.
So a shout out to all of those viewers that got on Gary's Cadmus, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now, there is always a disclaimer with this show that this show is not necessarily guaranteeing an outcome on anything.
Nothing.
And also this show, there's a disclaimer that says we use the truth liberally. Right? So we're poets. This is a show about real estate through a poet's eyes, not through a statistician's eyes or...
he's so full of it. I don't even know how he could... is anyone still watching? If you're still watching now, power to you. Like, good on you. Like, there must be nothing else happening in your life if you're still watching this now.
But Gary, imagine if you lived your life as a result of what you listened to on this show. You'd always be losing on your horses, and you'd be given a sprinkling of the facts.
Yeah, well, that'd be about it. And occasionally you might find something mildly humorous. Phil,
what have you got for us, Gary?
Well, what I've got for you is organised buyers.
Organised buyers as opposed to disorganised buyers?
Well, disorganised buyers or buyers that haven't got all their ducks in a row.
Yep.
And I've got to say that for those buyers that get their ducks in a row, which means that they can full deposit, unconditional, no subject to finance, no subject to building. If they're those buyers that are able to perform, I believe they can save money, Phil, in certain situations, because vendors, if they have to sell subject to finance or subject to building or subject to stuff that some buyers put in front, they put
or
hurdles
settlement
in front,
terms that
or
don't match what the vendor wants. Yep.
Then you know what they'll usually say? I want to get extra money for that.
Yep.
They'll want extra for it. So I believe, Phil, that organised buyers save money.
Yes.
So for that to happen, go get your builder's report before you put in an offer. Make sure it's okay. I know sometimes you're still going to miss the property, and that's just part of the deal, I guess. But go and get a builder's report or get it checked out beforehand. Make sure your finance is done.
Because I'm going to jump in here in a moment.
Yeah, you've got something to say about that.
I've got some beef.
You've got some beef. Ooh, Phil's beef. We haven't had that for a while. Make sure you've got your finance organised. Make sure you've got a settlement that you're able to do it. Make sure that all of your funds are able to be released to the agent so you can actually settle, or I should say, settle up a deposit. And I think you're in a much stronger position because a vendor loves to know about a clean deal, Phil.
Well, vendors want certainty.
Yeah,
because
they do.
Often a vendor that is selling because they've bought something else. So they're not interested in hanging around for maybe the possibility of a better price. So what you're really saying is if a buyer has their solicitor on tap, has got their building inspector on tap, has got their finance in order, has got a meaningful deposit.
Yes.
So when that person comes to a property and says, here is my offer, tick, 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 a vendor looks at that and says, that is an offer that on balance I would rather go with than the uncertainty of something else.
And we've seen greater offers knocked back for better terms. We've seen people, I've seen someone say, look, I'll give you 640,000 for this apartment, but I need 120 days settlement. I've only got 5%. And then someone else come along at 620 and they go, I can settle in 30 days, full 10%, I can give it to you now. And vendors will add that up and say, you know what, for 20 grand, I want the deal. I want the certainty of the deal. So organised buyers save money. Now, you've got a point about builders.
I do, Gary, but I think it's a topic for next week. So just try and remember this.
I remember
things. It's really important. Do I get a builder's report or do I not? And if I do, how much faith do I have in following what has been put to me? So stay tuned. Next week.
I'll remember, Phil, because it's Remembrance Day, and it's a good day to remember things. Let's talk about some of the sales that happened. There were some hot ones, Phil, and I've got to tell you, and I struggled to recover. I did do a 9:30 auction on Sunday morning. I
love those 9:30 morning auctions. They are fantastic. You've got to get up a bit earlier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I know you want the midnight one. It's probably never going to happen.
It's going to.
But 9:30 starts. Were there people there?
It was full.
Yeah.
It was packed. And I didn't slur any words. Because when you have to get up a little bit earlier, I don't know if this happened to you. When you have to get up a bit early, let's say take a plane or something, you don't sleep well because your subconscious tells you, I've got to get up.
Yep.
So, of course, I had completely broken sleep, wake up at 4, wake up at 6, and then, because just that couple of hours, Phil, just made a difference. But anyway, 9:30, I begged the crowd there. I said, look, you'll have to forgive me because this is, I think, just about my first 9:30 auction and I'm not a morning person.
Yes.
But I've got to tell you, Phil, I was on song, and the property sold for hundreds of thousands over the reserve, and the vendor was thrilled, and the buyers were happy, and there was merriment and mirth, and it was great.
Which goes, we start our auctions from as early as 9:30 in the morning. We take them through to as late as 5:30, and when people say, is there a good or bad time? The best time is when you have a buyer and they're at the auction. And no buyer sits around going, I've found the property that I really love, but I don't think I'll go because it's 9:30 or it's 12:30 or it's 5:30. The buyers follow properties.
That's right.
They never say to us,
times.
I really like this house. What time is the auction?
Yeah, it's 12:30, I'm having lunch there, I'm not going to come in bed. Yeah, that just doesn't happen, Phil. And of course, we go right through it. When you think about it, we started off in real estate. We had midweek auctions.
Yes.
You had Saturday only. There was no Sunday. And we've now got Sunday morning, twilight auctions. We just never rest, do we? Never sleep. I think it's a wicked thing. Because if you're wicked, there's no rest for the wicked.
If you're looking for a job where you get to work 24/7, 365 days per year, real estate's the career for you.
Call us now.
Gary, let me just talk about the weekend because you did start segueing
I want to talk about Kooyong Road.
Okay, we'll talk about Kooyong Road.
So Kooyong Road was
9:30.
one at 469 Kooyong Road. Vendor came from Sydney. There were 3 vendors. This was their late father's home, Philip, and wow, what a competition!
5 bidders, I believe.
I think there were 6 bidders. It went right off, and Philip was 1-to-1. 1 was the range. It was a little bit of a unique property. We weren't quite sure how it was going to go. The reserve was at the top of the range, as it turned out. Probably would have been less if it needed to be for the vendor's perspective, but it ran away. It was one of those, Phil, runaway trains.
Gary, I'm going to talk.
And it was 9:30.
I'm going to talk about a property I did on Sunday in Estelle Road.
Yes, I've noted that, Phil.
Price is undisclosed, but have a look at this footage. Have a look at all of these people in the house. Huge crowd. 5 people bidding. This is a property that we were quoting in excess of $4 million. Price is undisclosed, but we had 5 people bidding on that, Gary, and we had 2 other parties that didn't even get a chance to put their hand up. So, if you've got the right property with the right level of presentation,
the right price,
the right pricing, it can often hit a sweet spot.
Now, you put that in, you did that auction inside.
Yep.
Now, I love this. This is so Melbourne, of course. We're outside, looking up, clouds are sort of coming. There's a little bit of mist in the wind, and we think, second we go inside, the sun's out.
Yep.
And some people said, why is it inside? Why is it outside? And I think it was good that you did it inside. I mean, I think there were people there who were like, how come we're all crammed in? Even though it's huge, the crowd was even huger. Inside, outside.
Do you know what? I love the inside auctions,
So do
Gary.
I
I really do.
I love them.
You get a much more intimate theatre.
Yes, you do.
It's easier to hold everybody's attention because it's a lot harder as somebody standing there just to be talking to the next person when I'm like right in front of them.
It is.
So I actually love the indoor auctions, but I do love the people that go, oh, why are we doing it inside?
I know.
And obviously we're in the business of being polite to everybody, so we just go, no, well, whatever the story is, as opposed to looking at them and going, tell me, how many auctions have you personally conducted?
Exactly.
Right? How many exactly for you to have an opinion as to whether it should be inside or out? But of course we don't go with that. We just smile.
There's a little bit of restrained anger right there. I think that's a bit of a worry. I've got to say.
No,
you know what?
Not at all.
I think next time there's an indoor auction and he's doing it, can you just approach him and ask him? Because I like to press buttons, right?
No,
I think
Gary,
that's a good.
I will be
We've opened up a bit of a sore spot there.
I will be unflappable in my delighted
I don't know, Phil.
response.
I'm going to set things up so you maybe won't be. But anyway, let's see how we go. 76 Purtell Street, Bentley East. Phil, that was sold by Graham Callan. He had 3 bidders there. Sold for $935,000. It was way above range and expectation. And not everything is selling that way, but we're talking about a few of the runaway trains, Phil, and Estelle Road was a runaway train, and you heard it there.
Editor's note, can we drop the runaway trains from
we're not.
now on?
No, we're not.
You've had that bit of fun.
No, we're going to keep it going.
Old-fashioned and silly.
No, we're going to keep it going, Phil, and I want to just keep rolling through. Now, 358 North Road, Phil, was not sold, but I want to draw attention to it because there's a few beautiful homes that we didn't sell that I think should be sold, Phil.
Yes.
This is a great house, delightful vendors, really wonderful property, well presented, and 1.7 is kind of 1695 the asking price. I don't think that's a big price for a freestanding home.
Do you know what?
Brighton,
Interestingly, Gary, we did pass in some really good property across the weekend, which Airdrie Road. These properties will be sold over the next few weeks because this weekend we really released the last stock for 2025. We're going to have a lot more attention on these houses shortly. Gary, let's talk about the weekend coming up because we're right in the middle of the busy spring selling season. So shock me and tell me how many auctions this weekend.
Yeah, we've got 39 auctions, Phil. We can't wait for the weekend. We love 39. And
I think pasta for dinner Friday night and Saturday night.
If you like.
Get those carbohydrates ready to burn.
Where are we going?
I don't know, Gary, but I'm just suggesting you have that as a diet so that you can get through the weekend.
Thought that was a kind of
no invitation at all.
Yeah, fair enough. Righto. Wednesday, Phil, you're kicking off an auction at 2 p.m. This great-looking block of apartments.
Gary, a fabulous block of apartments. This is a corner block, so you've got a 2-street frontage, a 1960s brilliant powerhouse block of apartments. We've got 10 apartments, 10 2-bedroom apartments, and it sits on an allotment of 898 square metres of land. corner of Augusta Street. Darren Crongold and Dunn Gutman have the honours.
The midweek twilight groove continues, Philip, with 5:30 on Wednesday tomorrow night. We're going to be in McGowan Avenue, Huntley.
Meeting Leo Yu and Leo Bar there. What a fabulous house this is. 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It's a resort-like home, a fabulous opportunity.
Leo Samuel is going to be auctioning also tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Philip in Truganini Road.
Meeting Lydia Perry and Aviv Samuel. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a car space and a storage cage. A good-looking building. I'm
going to be in Rowans Road, Philip, on Thursday at 5:30 p.m. in Moorabbin. Looking forward to that
Meeting Liam Elbaum and Leon Gusenfitter. What a stunning property this is. And don't we love Moorabbin? It's a real growth suburb. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking, carport, 2 cars. What a cracker.
Leo Samuel's also auctioning on Thursday, twilight, 6 p.m. in McKinnon in Lindsay Street.
Meeting Dizzy Wang and Christian de Vries. 4 fabulous bedrooms, 3 beautiful bathrooms, a lock-up garage, a second car space, everything opens and shuts, and of course in the absolute epicentre of McKinnon.
Now be careful how you pronounce this street, Philip. Make sure you get it right. This one is in Ormond. It is a beautiful home and it's number 1. Fock Street.
It is a fabulous property, Gary. Leon Gusenfitter and Vanessa McGlynn have got the honours there. A gorgeous facade and an even better interior. I mean, this is the surprise package. It's got a swimming pool. It's got a stunning back garden. It's been beautifully renovated from the front to the back and everything in between. A second-storey addition. That is an amazing home.
Let's kick into Saturday, Philip. We are rolling at 9:30 a.m. This time it's with Leo Samuel. It is in Holloway Street in Ormond.
Meeting Natalia Koropets there. Leo Samuel has the honours. What a good 1-bedroom apartment that is. A really good size. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space.
You're kicking off your Saturday, Philip, in Lang Street, South Yarra at 10 a.m. This wonderful duplex.
A fantastic duplex here, Gary. 2 apartments, one on top of the other. Sits on its own parcel of land. A really good opportunity for an investor, or convert it into 1-family home, or build a new property subject to council approval. Darren Crongold and Reno Pabililor have had the honours. I'm looking forward to that property.
Phil, we're hitting Watsonia North and we love it over there. Mark Kirkham is the agent. It might get sold before auction. Simon Redon is the auctioneer.
3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of car parking, wraparound garden areas. Stay tuned, might be sold.
Saturday, 11:30, Jeremy Rosens hops up to Beverley Street, Glen Huntley, Phil.
Meeting Joel Sur and Reno Pabililor. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space. Courtyard garden areas. That is a fantastic property, and don't I love that location.
Leo Samuel is going to be at the same time in Moore Street, Caulfield South.
Gary, what a great property in Moore Street. Aviv Samuel, Leo Samuel have been handling that property. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage and garden area.
And Bruce Street is where you'll find Mr. Philip Kingston doing his second auction at 11:30.
Meeting Leo Yu and Daniel Michmacher there. Look at this property. This has got such great opportunity because it sits on a really good parcel of land. It is 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and off-street car parking for as many as 6 cars. Go figure.
Go figure, Phil, where I'm going to be at 12:30. It will be in North Road in Brighton East. I'm there at 12:30 with Bernie Mel.
And Daniel Peer, 2 bedrooms, Gary, 1 bathroom, and we also have car parking there for a couple of cars. That's a great entry into Brighton East and the surrounding areas.
Murrumbina Road in Murrumbina is the 12:30 auction held by Leo Samuel. He's meeting Dizzy Wang and Christian de Vries there. 3
bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, wraparound garden areas. That is a great location. We love those properties.
Triple auction action at 1:30 p.m. Philip, Dandenong Road, Carnegie is Leo Samuel's auction.
Gary, what a wonderful property that is. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for a couple of cars. That is a really good property and very affordable.
We're back to Dandenong Road, this time in Paran, Philip, at 1:30 p.m. Jeremy Rosens is auctioning this terrific apartment.
Meeting Daniel Michmacher there, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 lock-up garage, and getting a lock-up garage is highly unusual in that price range. What a great spot.
Phil, your day rolls on in Narrawong Road, a great address, meeting Darren Crongold there with Reno Pabililor, and that's at 1:30.
Gary, what a great property this is because it's a delightful home as it stands, 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, but it also sits on approximately 583 square metres of land and it shares the fence with the park that is between Marara Road and Karawina. So lovely opportunity to either live there happily or maybe do a renovation or maybe subject to council approval, a fabulous build.
Stunning and brand new, if I'm not mistaken, Philip, is 2 at 2A Spray Street, Elwood. Tell us a little about this magnificent
Gary,
gem.
what an incredible apartment. This is a brand new apartment. It's called Casa Elwood, and it has been designed by renowned architectural firm Jackson Clement Burrows. It's brand new. It's one of only 4. It's the ground floor apartment. It is 3 fabulous bedrooms, 2 beautiful bathrooms, a basement car park. There's also a storage come home theatre come utility space in the basement. That is an amazing property. Very proud to have that property. And you can go there and meet Jacob Kingston or Rafi Joffe.
They're great architects, aren't they?
Jackson Clement Burrows.
I saw Graham Burrows at the movies on Saturday night. I was seeing the same movie I saw, Phil, and they are quite incredible. They do a wonderful job. They did the pier too, the St Kilda Pier.
Yes, Gary, they're a well-known Australian famous architectural firm.
2:30 p.m. Leo Samuel's going to be in Kunang Road, Carnegie, auctioning this terrific property.
Meeting Alex Stupa and Leo Samuel. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, incredible garden areas there. That's a great way to get into the Carnegie market.
I'm not sure in the career of our business, Philip, we've ever had 2 auctions in Rowans Road, Moorabbin within a few days, but we're doing it this Saturday, our second auction in Rowans Road, Moorabbin, this time 2:30, Simon Radolnik's the auctioneer.
Meeting Leo Yu and Leo Bar, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, lots of car parking and garage areas for as many as 3 cars. That is a great opportunity, and what a great location.
You're bringing us home, Philip, with the 3:30, 4:30 and 5:30 auction. Sussex Road is at 3:30. Tell us about this great property.
Gary, looking forward to this. This is a great opportunity to get into the South Caulfield market. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking, a delightful home inside and out, walking distance to the tram and Hawthorne Road and Princess Park. Idan Gutman, Joel Sir have the honours there.
Go Street.
Meeting there, of course, Leo Yu and Leo Barra again.
That dynamic team, Philip. Go Street is where you will bring the final hammer down on Saturday. This is a terrific looking property, and we're going to keep working with Leo Yu this time.
And Benjamin Rothschild. What a fabulous family home that is. 4 fantastic bedrooms, 3 beautiful bathrooms. This is the house with absolutely everything. There is so much to love there. This is a home that you can move straight into and get on with life.
Phil, I'm kicking off a very busy Sunday for us at 11:30. We both have auctions on at that time, but I'm excited to be auctioning 1 at 15 Newland Street, Caulfield. Phil, I've been to this property.
Gary.
It's an
fabulous.
oversized villa. It's got great double carport. In fact, you could probably park a few other cars behind it, but it's a very big, very beautiful, very well constructed villa unit, Phil. 1 of 2 only, and I've got to say, it is a ripping property.
You're
I'm looking forward
meeting
to it.
Arlene Joffe there and Daniel Peer, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and up to 3 cars.
That's a beauty, Phil. I'm looking forward to being there. You're going to be busy at that time in Glen Ira Road, auctioning with Daniel Fisher and with Liam Elbon, this wonderful, wonderful town residence.
Doesn't get any better than this, Gary, and it's brand new, so you can move straight in and smell the brand new paint. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, further parking in front. That is a stunning home. Really, virtually in the Golden Mile of Caulfield North.
And if there's a Golden Mile of East St Kilda, Phil, Westbury Close would be it or in it. Leo Samuel gets to auction there at 11:30 a.m.
Gary, what an amazing opportunity. I love that address. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of car parking area. It's in original condition, which is the best way to buy a property. Leo Samuel and Aviv Samuel have the honours there, and subject to council approval, so much you can do with 655 square metres of land.
4 at 10 Hudson Street is our solo 12:30 auction, Phil. Sometimes it just works out that way. I'm the auctioneer for it. I'm meeting Reno Pabalore there together with Darren Krongold.
3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, Gary, plenty of garden area. That is a wonderful property.
Phil, talk about wonderful properties. 388 Elmer Road surely is one wonderful property. What a beautiful and wonderful home this is.
This is a
mid-century classic.
Mid-century classic. You've summarised it beautifully, Gary. Daniel Peer and Arlene Joffe have had the honours there. That's high on the hill, the Paris end of Alma Road. That is a stunning home. You can move straight into that, but you could also contemplate how you might further improve, because it is impossible to overcapitalise in that location.
That's for sure. One beautiful home to the other, Phil. You're going to be at St Albans Avenue, another prestige address in Caulfield
Meeting
North.
Daniel Fisher and Arlene Joffe there. This is incredible because the address there is just so outstanding. There's a real showcase home, situated on a smaller allotment, which means you're not paying for land you don't need. 4 incredible bedrooms, 3 beautiful bathrooms, fantastic entertaining areas, a double lock-up garage. That is an incredible home.
Now, if you know where Lenny's is, Phil, it's a landmark in Inkerman Street and Inkerman Road. Right across the road, we have this wonderful apartment, this small boutique block that has a lovely north-facing aspect. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, it's light and it's bright, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Bernie Mel and Daniel Peer have had the honours there. That is a great location. It's always been a good building. They sell well there.
21 Bent Street, Caulfield South is the auction you'll be doing at 2:30 p.m.
Meeting Darren Krongold and Liam Elbaum there. This sits on 549 square metres of land. It is 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. Great opportunity to buy a home right in the epicentre of Caulfield South.
Phil, one of the most beautiful and valuable homes to come to the market this year is in Yannaki Crescent, Caulfield North. What a fantastic address.
I love this house. It was fully renovated by one of the Australia's leading architects, Russell Casper. It sits on 772 square metres of north-facing back garden. So the back garden and your back entertaining areas are just bathed in sunlight. It's 5 incredible bedrooms, 3 beautiful bathrooms. It's got a double lock-up garage, room for a couple of cars in front. I think that's just a standout offering. It should be popular, and Darren Krongold and Benjamin Rothschild have had the honours.
Phil, I wish I could join you there, and maybe if Payne Street sells before auction I will, but otherwise I'll be at 16 at 3 Payne Street, this terrific villa, single level villa, sold in that block before and always love it.
Gary, it's a great development, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, that's got a lock-up garage, garden areas. That is a terrific property, good entry level into Caulfield.
And I get to meet Dunn Gutman and Sally Zellman for the auction of this incredible apartment, Philip, in Balaclava Road. I am very excited about it.
Gary, this is a landmark development. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, basement car parking for 2 cars and a storage cage. That is light, it's bright, it looks out over Caulfield Park. You've got the best facilities on your doorstep.
You'll have the last say, Philip, at 182 Orong Road, Caulfield North for this auction. You're meeting Daniel Peer and Arlene Joffe at 4:30, Phil.
Gary, I love this house. This is the most stunning home. You move straight into this house and not spend a cent. It's got a period facade, but it's really been beautifully modernised inside. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, huge back garden area. It is stunning in every way, and it's got one of the best floor plans, and it's got one of the best informal areas at the back. I love that home.
Phil, we've got to go, but before we do, we've got a few homes to feature. One of those is in Hughesdale. We've just sold over $4 million in Hughesdale, Phil, a couple of weeks ago, but we're back there to sell number 7 Maru Street in Hughesdale.
Gary, this is a brand new property. It's freestanding. It sits on 450 square metres of land. It's been handled by Lisa Alberts and Mark Kirkham. 4 incredible bedrooms, 3 beautiful bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, wrap-around garden areas. I think that might be Hughesdale's standout property for 2026.
It could well be, Phil, and certainly one of St Kilda East's standout properties comes to the market soon as well. 20 Westbury Grove, we've both been involved with this interesting
Gary,
home.
This is a ripper. It's got a 2-street frontage. It backs onto Leslie Street. It's 645 square metres of land. It's a very, very livable and lovable home. But essentially, we've got the land with the opportunity. It could be a house for renovation. It could be a redevelopment opportunity. It could be townhouses and units, obviously subject to council approval. Dunn Gutman, Bernie Mel have had the honours there.
And 6 Labassa Grove is the last home we're going to feature, this absolute mid-century classic, Phil. What a wonderful property coming to the market
Gary,
soon.
this is the most incredible renovation opportunity. This home sits on 812 square metres of land in arguably one of the best streets of Caulfield North. Arlene Joffe and Daniel Peer have had the honours there. I see somebody transforming this house, keeping the elements of what is there, but doing a drop-dead gorgeous renovation. At the rear, you could go out, you could go up, subject to council approval. But that house, to me, somebody will take that, give it a 2025-26 overhaul, and everybody will be going, oh, I should have bought that, I could have bought that, I would have bought that. It's so good.
Phil, that's a big wrap on this week's GPTV. It's been an action-packed episode because we've had lots to talk about. There's lots coming up. There's a smorgasbord of fine offerings. I'm excited. I'm pumped up for a big November as we bring in mid-November.
To Santa Claus coming down the chimney because We've got a lot to do between now and then.
Exactly right. Sandy, you stay on the roof for the time being. We're going to keep bringing you the real estate news. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.